Hello everyone, today we are going to study about the statutory corporation. The very first question is, what do you mean by statutory corporation? A statutory corporation is an autonomous corporate body created by a special act of the parliament, or we can say the special act created by the state legislature which is defined with defined powers, functions and duties. Okay, understood? Here, state helps statutory corporation by subscribing to its capital. For example, we can give the example that is Reserve Bank of India and LIC, etc. Now, the second we will see that is the features of statutory corporation. Now, the first feature is corporate body. How it is corporate body? Because statutory corporation is an artificial person created by law, okay, and it's an independent legal entity. It is managed by the board of directors constituted by the government. A corporation has a right to enter into contracts and can undertake any kind of business under its own name. The second feature is it is answerable to the legislature. A statutory corporation is answerable to parliament or a state assembly whomsoever creates it. Okay, parliament has no right to interfere in the working of statutory corporations. It can only discuss policy matters and overall performance of the corporations. Now the third feature is own staffing system. Here, employees are not government servants even though the government owns and manages a corporation. Employees of various corporations receive balanced or uniform pay and benefits by the government. They are recruited, remunerated and governed as per the rules laid down by the corporation. The fourth feature is financial autonomy. A statutory corporation enjoys financial autonomy or independence. Here, it is not subject to the budget, accounting, and audit controls. After getting the prior permission from the government, it can even borrow money within and outside the country. And the last feature is no political interference. A statutory corporation comes into existence by the following particular act or a state. Therefore, there is no political interference in formation, working, and administration of a statutory corporation. Understood? Here, all statutory corporations are free from political interference. Now, we will see what are the different merits of statutory corporations. The very first merit is initiative and flexibility. Now, operations and management of a statutory corporation is done independently without any government interference with its own initiative and flexibility. Now, the second merit is administrative autonomy. A statutory corporation is able to manage its affairs with independence and flexibility. Okay. Now the third merit is quick decisions. How quick decision? See, a statutory corporation is relatively free from red tapeism as there is a less file work and less formality to be completed before taking decisions. Now the fourth merit and the fourth advantage, we can say efficient staff. Statutory corporations can have their own rules and regulations regarding remuneration and recruitment of employees. It provides better facilities and attractive terms of service to staff to secure efficient working from its staff. Okay, understood. Now the fifth merit is professional management. How the professional management? Here, board of directors of statutory corporation consist of business experts and the representatives of various groups such as labor, consumers, etc., who are nominated by the government. And the last feature is last merit is easy to raise capital. Here such corporations are fully owned by the government. This is the first point, and they can easily raise required capital by floating bonds at a low rate of interest. These bonds are safe. The investors also feels comfortable in subscribing such bonds. Okay, understood? Okay. Now the next we will see, that is demerits of statutory corporations. The very first is demerit is autonomy on paper only. How? See, the autonomy and flexibility of statutory corporation is only for namesake. Practically, ministers, government officials, and political parties often interfere with the working of these corporations. The second demerit is lack of initiative. Statutory corporations do not have to face any competition and are not guided by a profit motive. So, the employees do not take initiative to increase the profit and reduce the losses. The losses of the statutory corporations are made good by the government. Understood? Now, the third demerit is rigid structure. The objects and the powers of statutory corporations are defined by the Act, and these can be amended only by amending the statute or the Act. Understood? Amending the Act is a time-consuming and complicated task, so that we can say it is a rigid structure. Now the fourth demerit is clashes among interest. Here the government appoints the board of directors, and their work is to manage the manage and operate the corporations. As there are many members, it is quite possible that their interest may clash. Understood? Because of this reason, the smooth functioning of the corporation may be hampered. Now the last is unfair practices. The governing board of a statutory corporation may indulge in unfair practices. It may charge an unduly high prices to cover up inefficiency. Okay, understood? Here we have seen statutory corporation, the features of statutory corporation, merits and demerits of statutory corporation. Thank you everyone. I hope you have understood clearly. If you like the video, like the channel and give the comments. Thank you.